All right, gather in. It's time for our next recap of season 3, episode 8 of From, called Thresholds. We got a lot of answers this time, didn't we? So, the show, child, why did I think, you know why I thought this? Because they wanted me to think this. I thought Ellis and Fatima made a run for it after Tilly told them to run, right? They went and told his daddy. They went and told Boyd, and Boyd brought Fatima to the shack. I said, okay, well, shut me right the hell up as soon as we open up this show. So he brings her there and he tells her, I'm gonna protect you. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Girl's gonna be all right, after she explains that she could feel what was happening, but she couldn't stop what was happening when she stabbed Tilly. And so Boyd brought her a little bit of that rotten food in the Tupperware just in case she needed to eat, because he doesn't want her to freak out again, right? Her body is starting to physically force her to do what it wants her to do. And that is going to come back at the end of the episode. So Boyd goes back to town and act like he don't know shit, which I thought was, I said, this, sir. He tries to tell Ellis, you need to collect yourself. You need to stay cool. We have to, move in a way that allows us to have time to think about this. They let somebody find Tilly's body in the greenhouse, and he comes in, and Acosta and Kenny are there, and he asks them to interview Colony House because they don't know if anybody's seen anything. And I'm almost like, it was midday when she did this. Had nobody seen it? Nobody saw anything? Anyway, they tried to put this on Sarah. Not with any proof. Just, we need somebody to blame, and everybody's going to think it's her anyway. And I felt bad for Sarah in that moment, because I was like, damn, are they really going to chop Sarah? She ain't do shit. She been laying low. And even that wasn't her fault. This is the same type of scenario. You can't ask her and not Fatima just because she's your in-law, Boyd. WTF, sir. So they, Donna suggests that to Boyd. Boyd then realizes that would be really messed up, and he's trying to figure out another way to do things. He has Ellis pack a bag and go meet Fatima, drop off that stuff, and then come on back. She tells him that she's really freaking out. She's scared. She's afraid that she doesn't want him to stay with her because she's afraid of what she's capable of. He's, I love you and we're going to fight this and all of that. And I'm just like, man, get away from her. Like, stop all this sprung shit. You kind of like sticking, you kind of like twofold. You're in love with the girl, but you're also treating her like you going to save her because you couldn't save your mama. You know what I'm saying? Reel it back, sir. Because she can kill you. Like, she can kill you. Anyway, she in the shack with a talisman. She should be all right? No. Goddamn kimono lady just jump scares the hell out of all of us. Just boom. I was like, I'm not even gonna front with y'all. I actually screamed. Scared the shit out of me. And scared the hell out of Fatima too. So she comes there to figure out where she's at. And then she takes a picture of the shack to show to Elgin, go get Fatima. So Ellis and Boyd are in the police station talking about what they're going to do. Should they tell the town the truth? How are they going to... Donna catches them talking. They look guilty. She knows something's up. So they finally spill the beans. It was Fatima that killed Tilly. She's been going through these changes or whatever, and there's something inside her that made her do it. And they're like, well, you need to tell everybody what happened. And they're like, we can't really do that because we're not trying to have her killed or whatever. And then she's like, listen, the town don't really rock with you like that anymore. So they're not going to let you slide on this one like they did with Sarah. So either tell them or I'm telling him. So she's going to give him some time to figure it out. He says that they can stay with him in the police station and he'll keep an eye on her. And so they go and get her, right? They go back to the shack. Only in this time, Elgin has told her that they found a place for her to hide in the root cellar and that Elgin's waiting for her. I'm sorry, Ellis. The E's, the E names are really killing me. Anyway, by the time they get to the shack, she's gone. She's already at the root cellar. And Elgin, oh geez, I'll get back to Julie in a minute. Okay, it's really quick. But Elgin ends up dragging her. No, well, he brings her down there. She's still a little suspicious. He brings her down there and then explains to her that she is pregnant, but the baby's not hers. And she's like, boy, if you don't get out my way. And then when she tries to leave, the baby is not letting her leave. And so now she's trying to crawl out the root cellar and he drags her back in there. He's like, girl, I'm so sorry. He drags her in there and we gonna find out what happens next week. Now, Julie, ciao. Julie feels the pull back to the dungeon ruins and she ends up bringing her brother with her because nobody else will go with her. Randall was like, girl, fuck you talking about? Leave me alone. I don't want to know what's in there. What if it's good? What if it ain't? Ain't nothing this town gave us good. What the hell are you talking about? You were here longer than me. And so she storms off, fine, goes to the house. Dad is going to go try to cuss out Jade with his punk ass. And so he leaves her with her brother and then they go to the ruins and he's like, well, you know, I'll go with you if you're scared. And the ruins say, you thought. They do not let him go with her. She goes into the dungeon herself. And then she sees Martin. No, I'm sorry. Scratch that. She saw herself, Randall, and Mariella struggling for their life, infected with cicadas. So that's where all the screaming was coming from. And then the screaming dissipates once she has discovered what it is, right? Then she turns around, she sees Martin. Martin knows her name. How the hell he know her name? He never answers that. He says, you got to drop that rope down that well. So there's the answer to our question. How did Martin throw the rope? He did not. Julie threw the rope. Astral travel? Is that what this is? Because it's not time travel. Because she's actually in the real world having a seizure in the ruins. She's not actually in this space. This is not really happening. But it is happening. You know what I mean? Because it did happen. Because Boyd ended up getting out of the well because she dropped the rope. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's really trippy. Anyway, they her brother goes to get Acosta and Kenny to come save her. They pick her up. They save her. She wakes up because they pull her out of the ruins. Boom. That's it. That's what happened there. Now, the Jade and Jim fired. Jim is such a fucking beta male. I can't even take it, y'all. He goes in there and he's mad because Jade and Tabitha are trying to solve this shit. And quite frankly, it's because it's not him. It's because he's not the one that solved it. That man on that intercom told you your wife shouldn't be digging that hole. Bitch, you ain't getting out of here. Fuck you talking about? You thought you was going to build this tower and save the day? You just got here? No. Duh. Dummy. And so he's salty. He's been salty ever since. This town's been taunting him, talking about them ain't your kids no more, and like playing like they're his dead son and all this stuff. And then his wife is getting all these visions and she's getting closer to Jade and Jade is fine and rich and you mad as fuck. That's exactly what is going on, sir. And he shut you down with the quickness because he was like, at least I'm trying to get your family out of here. How about it? How about you fall back? And also Henry said, hey, you should probably shut up and listen to your wife. Now, never mind the fact that they are the same person. Jim and Henry are the same person, child. And I don't mean literally. I just mean in cycles of life. They are playing the same role. And so that was a really cool scene between the two of them. But I will say this, friends, and I'm going to just close it out here. I cannot wait for the first part of Revelations next week. It is getting so freaking good. And of course, I'm not going to forget about Victor, you guys. I mean, his storyline is getting so, it's got my anxiety through the roof, quite frankly. So he has blocked out a lot of he has repressed memories because of trauma. We know this. We understand this. We realize that this boy has been through the type of shit that none of us would ever wish to go through. And he has been suffering through this for 40 years. For the majority of his life, he has had more bad than good in his existence, okay? And he has been completely alone in the process. So, my boy is still trying to get Jasper to talk. He mad as hell. This puppet won't talk to him. And he has Sarah pretending to be the puppet, and he cussing her out because she ain't doing it right. I'm like, bro, this is kind of not fair right now, because you are asking her to do something that you don't even remember. Like, you don't even remember how he used to talk and what he used to do. You can't even direct her. So what you mad? You mad at yourself? He seemed like he was mad at himself, but he was taking it out on Sarah, and I didn't think that was fair. So then he goes, he has Sarah go get Tabitha, and Tabitha helped him remember about Eloise. So maybe she could help him remember about Jasper. She gets down in Sarah's basement, and they try to figure it out. And I love the way that they did this. They walked him through it step by step. What do you remember? Let's just start with what you do remember. You know, what were you doing that day? What was it like outside? You know, where did you see all of this take place? And so he figures out that, first of all, he was playing hide and seek with Eloise, and he checked in the church even though she was afraid to go in the church, because, you know, she always felt like it was a little scary. And he realizes, oh my goodness, it was in the church basement where it all went down. So then they take Jasper, they go over to the church basement, they go down the stairs, and he starts to remember more. And he remembers that it was actually the boy in white, not Jasper, that Christopher was arguing with. And the boy in white told him the story of how the children were born in the dark and they died in the dark. And I speculated that this meant that these children were born specifically for the purpose of sacrifice. So the entire process was ritualistic in nature. These children were born from people that they all they knew was the people who gave birth to them and raised them, and that they trusted them, and they ended up sacrificing them because the town told them that if they did that, that they would get free. Does this sound familiar, friends? How many times has the town chosen somebody to say, do this thing and you can go home? It does it over and over again because the town is manipulating, or the evil entity of the town is manipulating the inhabitants to perform the rituals, to keep feeding it. The children were used to create the roots of the tree, like the faraway tree. Now, which tree specifically? Not sure. How many trees are there that are faraway trees? Is there 7? Hold up. There might be just 7 of them. I have to double check. I have to go back and double check, friends, but it might be 7 trees. So now we understand what that root symbol means, the symbol that they keep drawing, both Christopher and Jade. We also understand, what the children were for. I'm still going back to Tilly having 7 grandbabies. Yo, I'm still on it. But anyway, so now we have to figure out if the current Sarah, which is Elgin, is about to perform a sacrifice to continue the cycle, right? So once he figures out that the boy in white is the one who told the story to Christopher, Jasper is no longer necessary, in my opinion. Like, honestly, I still feel like there's something to him because of the way he was propped up and the way he showed up in Jade's vision too. Like, I feel like that's not really done, that part right there. I feel like there's something to Jasper, but at the moment, he's irrelevant. And so boy in white was trying to tell Christopher that he needed to save the kids. And Christopher was like, "You're a liar. I don't want to do that. The hell you talking about?" So Victor hears this conversation and he tells his mother. So his mother ended up doing something about it and leaving her children in the root cellar while she did it. But then Eloise ran out. And Victor only talks about finding his mother in front of the faraway tree dead. He didn't say Eloise too, or Eloise and my mother. He just said his mother. So I'm still of the mind that Eloise is actually alive and she's living in that other town, that settlement. Also, I do believe the people who are saying that Fatima is going to give birth to a monster to replace Smiley. I do, because this town is just that freaking twisted, y'all. It's just that sick to bring that mother sucker back. Like I just feel it in deep in my shondo that they are going to bring that creepy ass smiling ass mother sucker back to the show, and I am going to scream at the television, like, and just throw my fucking hands up and walk away, because if that is what happens. That is so fucking sick. Do you understand? Oh my God. Like, if that is not stick it to Boyd in the worst way. So you thought you really did something. Killing Smiley. You really thought you did something. You thought you had juice, my G. You thought you had that juice? Nah. Like, it's not really doing that. It's not really giving that, because I run this shit. This is the town, right? Talking to Boyd. Ain't nobody more clever than me, boo. Ain't nobody slicker than me. I've been doing this shit for hundreds of years. You just got here. You ain't even been here 2 years. You really thought you ate that? Sticking my blood is your blood, motherfucker. You really thought that? Ooh, nice little tagline. But this is the town talking shit. As Smiley turns around with that big ass shit eating grin. It goes on back. I could just imagine. So anyway, hopefully it's more about like a sacrificial thing, and that, well, I mean, not hopefully, because then that would mean Fatima dies. I don't really want that for her, because she actually is innocent in all of this, right? I really want for her not to die. That would suck. But if we're being honest, friends, do we really need her after this season? I don't know. Pega, no shade, sis. You're actually a really great actress. You are a very great actress. I just feel like what else would she contribute to the show going forward? You know what I mean? Crazy storyline. Listen, you did that. You did that, girl. And will this actually break Boyd? Because if to lose Fatima means Elgin, my God, I'm sorry, Ellis is effed up for the rest of his days, and then he possibly bonds with his father over that? Or maybe resents the shit out of him? I don't know. Crazy stuff. But also, y'all, we gonna meet the man in yellow. We gonna meet the man in yellow this season. Because we need a new big bad. Kimono Lady's gonna be gone after the sacrifice, right? So we're gonna need a new big bad, and I'm thinking it's the man in yellow. What do y'all think? Let me know. Let's chat about it. Episode 8 has been a doozy. Thresholds indeed. Okay.